Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time, we move away from the spin-offs of Ewoks and Droids, the cartoon spin-offs, and look at another Star Wars spin-off, the Ewok Telemovies. Now, these two films, these are live-action films that originally aired on ABC. At this point, they're a little bit more well thought of than the Star Wars cartoons because they've been available more often, they've been available for quite a while at this point, and because they seem to capture the Ewoks in a little bit more of a way that fits the films, not only in terms of their looks, but the fact that they're having trouble speaking English or basic and that sort of thing, as opposed to kind of the weirdness that we get with the cartoon series, where there's a lot of question as to, well, what are they speaking? How do they interact with the Imperials in Season 2, etc., etc., etc. In this case, what we got were just two telemovies. One, the first, aired on November 25th of 1984. The second, Battle for Endor, aired on November 24th of 1985. So easy to remember, just take the 4 off the day date and the 5 off the year date for the first film, swap them, and you've got the air date for the second one. Kind of a bizarre little coincidence there. They were Thanksgiving films for Star Wars audiences. The first was sometimes referred to as the Ewok Adventure, other times as Caravan of Courage. This was originally released on MGM Home Video, which is what this is, in 1990. That's a very no-frills kind of release. It's just the Ewok Adventure, just Caravan of Courage. You got your poster art there as the cover, labels on the sides, no frills, nothing special there. On the back, some pictures from the film itself, and just a quick little description of the thing. It says, also available, Ewoks, the Battle for Endor down at the bottom. This is released in the same year on VHS as Battle for Endor. Now, this aired in 1984. We're basically looking at a year having passed after the events, or after the release in real life of Return of the Jedi. It's set after the events of the Ewoks cartoon series, in the gap, the 8-month gap now thanks to Shadows of Endor, between Shadows of Endor and Return of the Jedi. Follows the Tawani family and their exploits on Endor with the Bright Tree Village group of Ewoks, Wicket, Chirpa, and so forth. Decent little story, kind of hokey effects and such at times, but hey, it's 1984 and it's a television show. But it follows the whole family. Follows mom, dad, son, daughter. Very nice, very cute, very family-friendly fare, except for the monster, the Gorax, that is trying to eat mom and dad. Its follow-up aired in 85. My favorite of the two, Ewoks, the Battle for Endor. Looks a little bit better overall, better special effects. We get to meet Noah, we get to meet Teek. The emphasis for Teekseer News on the old Chrono Radio way back in the day when I did that podcast. Sindel is a little bit older, but it begins, spoiler alert, with basically every other member of the family being completely wiped out. No dad, no mom, no brother, they're dead. Sindel Tawani is the only one left, and she is working with the Ewoks at this point. The Marauders that we meet elsewhere in the EU, they actually got added into the EU later on as this got worked in more. The Marauders are there, they're stranded on Endor, they want the power to get off the planet, or to get off the moon, and they're helped by Charl, this witch kind of woman, who's able to change shape and stuff like that, basically using magic. Now, there's a whole issue of the Force being attuned to the life forms of Endor, and how basically on Endor, they're turning the Force into magic as their way to understand it from Castaways of Endor. She specifically gets tweaked into not just being any witch. Charl is said to be a Night Sister from Dathomir, a character as part of the Night Sister Witches of Dathomir clan that we many years later see in the Clone Wars, but which were introduced to with Dave Wolverton's The Courtship of Princess Leia a few years after this is released on home video. Released on television in 1985, released on home video same year as the other, 1990. Also the same year that J2 Communications is putting out the Ewoks and Droids cartoons, sort of, in their very abbreviated fashion, as we saw in the last couple episodes of the series here. Again, kind of poster art there, nothing special, top or bottom. That tells you a little bit about the feature, and each of these pretty standard MGM logos for their time period. Nothing all that special there. These are released on home video on VHS in 1990, also released on Laserdisc back in 1990 as well. But if you want to see these in the modern day, you can actually pick them up on DVD. In 2004, same year they're putting out the Star Wars Classic Trilogy on DVD for the very first time. Same year they put out the two-feature or double-feature animated Droids and Ewoks feature films, bastardizations, whatever you want to call it, on DVD, they also put out Star Wars, Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage, The Battle for Endor, double feature. In details about the films on the back there. And just like with the Droids and Ewoks animated features, you've got a DVD there that has one on one side. You got to flip it over to get to the other one on the back. And you've got your alternate cover art looking thing here and your chapter listing on the back. This is the way to watch these films these days. Highly doubt they'll be released on Blu-ray anytime soon, but maybe at some point we'll see them on that particular medium. But this is the most recent release. The weird thing about this, I guess, is that all of these are bare bones. No special features about any of them. No trailers for anything. It's just straight up, here's the Ewok movies. What you bought is what you get. That's it. Otherwise, nothing special. I kind of like Battle for Endor. Not a big fan of Caravan of Courage, but I like both of them much more than I like the Ewoks cartoons. And I would say that for the most part, they're better than much of the Droids cartoons. Although the Droids cartoons, not nearly as bad. So not much in the way of home video releases of these. You can definitely check out that 2004 edition as the easiest way to get it on a modern system that is still in use, DVD as opposed to VHS. But if you are a collector out there, the 1990 VHS tapes can still be found on places like eBay relatively cheaply. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.